What's up? What's happening? Welcome in to Hold My Banner. Just past the draft, first round, George Bilecki, Ante Campbell. Make the sounds, call him in, let him know. The official Hugo González episode. We'll talk all about the Celtics first round pick. Hugo González taking 20th overall. Man, Tay and I both love his tape. And we understand polarizing pick by the Celtics. We'll get into that. We'll talk plenty more from the NBA draft. Winners, losers, what we make of Ace Bailey. What I make of the broadcast, I got a lot of opinions there. I'm excited we got Wicked or Kick It for the Fits too, my man.
Yes, sir. We got some Wicked or Kick It. I can't wait to talk about this draft. I can't wait to just, settle down on the Thunder. We've had some confetti flying, and it feels like we just rapidly moved past the fact that they won the 2025 NBA championship. And some Celtics fans have something to say about that, so we're going to hear from them.
Also, we got to talk post-Kristaps. First episode post-Kristaps Porzingis trade.
I know. That was a blur as well. We'll do all of that. But, yeah, we got to start with the kid. Of course, the pick is in with the 28th pick in the 2025 NBA draft. The Boston Celtics select Hugo González out of Spain. All right, George, how do you feel about this pick, man?
In the moment, shocked, surprised. Who?
Yeah.
Like, literally, I was like, who González? Hugo? Okay, cool. Yeah. Hugo Boss, bring him in. Watch a tape. And this is a dude, man, his footwork and how everything is connected with him. Yeah. His feet, his hips, his eyes, his hands, and the ball. All moves at one. But it's like something you're used to seeing coming out of Europe. He's just 19. He's really raw in certain facets of the game and aspects of it. But the fundamentals, his technique, his footwork is great. And he puts defenders in a blender, puts them in conflict. When he gets him on his hip and has him going in one direction, how quickly he changes to the other and just gets him absolutely lost and puts that all into one move to attack the rim. I love him. I think in a half-court setting, in a pick and roll, you get him with a good lob threat, rim runner, and space him with shooters, which he needs. Because he can't shoot. That's a red flag. But this is a guy in a half-court. Fills a lot of needs for the Celtics, too, because of his ball handling. You need his... What the Thunder just did, they won with 5 ball handlers. On the floor at all times, pretty much. He brings that. He doesn't bring the shooting, but he brings a lot to his game. I really like this pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think initial reaction, a lot of people were saying, who? I was in the group chats, you know what I mean? Phone blowing up where it's like, who is this kid? This is not who we were expecting. I didn't talk about him at all. I don't even think Fran Fraschilla brought him up, and he knows everyone. He's the international guy, you know what I mean? And I wasn't even sure he was a guy that he brought up during that conversation about what international guys can he take. I'm going to tell you in a second how I feel about it, because I can tell you I was calling people, texting people, Europe, France, Spain, anybody that has played against this dude or played with this dude or had the opportunity to coach him or chose to add him as a part of their team, I talked to this morning at 5 a.m. in the morning as we're getting ready to walk in here. And I had to do my research after hearing what Brad Stevens said last night during the press conference. It opened my eyes, and I said, okay, maybe there's something to this kid that I'm missing. Take a listen to what Brad had to say last night.
Explain why you made the selection that you did tonight.
We've been watching Hugo for a long time. He's obviously been on everybody's radar, I think, for a long time. And then, followed his year with a great Real Madrid organization and team, and closely, and watched him in all the, U18s and those types of things. And just a big fan of how he plays. He's tough. He's hard playing. He cuts. He goes after the ball. He competes. He's got all the intangibles of a winning basketball player. And there's things he can get better at, just like everybody else at that age. But competitiveness is not, it's at a high level.
Is the plan to bring him over right away? And being a young guy, we've been operating under the past few years that you guys are, win now. He seems to be on a different timeline. Can you explain maybe what that...
I think he's a young guy, but a little bit of an old soul. I think he's played with adults for a long time. He's playing on a team full of experienced former NBA players and, high level pros from all over the world. So this guy has been around at a high level, been coached really well. So he'll be, I think when you talk about, years overall. Yes, he's young, but years of basketball experience, of the things that, we will think are important, it's probably pretty high.
So you hear everything that Brad had to say about this guy. It was gleaming report
Oh my God, yeah.
of what he thinks of this kid. I mean, he comes from a good background, is everything that I've ever heard about this kid. He's 19 years old. And you would think after 2 years, I'm telling you right now, when I was 17, if I was playing for Real Madrid and I was tasked as a guy who was supposed to be a top 5 guy 18 months ago, I would be walking around. My head would be so big, dog, you wouldn't even be able to sit next to me right now, George. That's how excited I would be to let everybody know that I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? So for him to be in that situation and to be humble, but as you like to say, we'll talk about Cooper Flagg later, very just audacious.
Yeah, have the audacity. I mean? There's a confidence. Difference of arrogance, there's a confidence.
Right.
But be so confident you have that audacity with you when you walk in the room. Like, I can do whatever I want on the floor.
Exactly. He walks around in Spain with that same kind of confidence.
Yeah.
Will he bring that to the NBA? That's yet to be found out.
And when, too.
And when. The issues, everything that you said about him is 100% true. He's downhill guard, 6'6", 6'7", can pass the ball, can shoot the ball a little bit. That's the issue right now. Is he going to be more consistent with that jumper? But getting to the rim, finishing at the rim, and being able to kick out has been his real superstar powers. And then the defensive intensity, the ability to get offensive rebounds and put putbacks on people's heads. Mm-hmm. He's able to play with other stars. He's played with Rudy Fernandez. He played with Mario Hezonja. He played with Yabusele, who played here in Boston. He's a guy that's been around NBA guys who have some flamed out, like a Rudy Fernandez. Some had pretty good NBA career years, like a Mario Hezonja. Those guys are telling him right now, hey, this is what it's like to play in a big market. This is what it's like to play in a big market like New York with Mario Hezonja going out there. This is what it's going to be like for you. People are going to have real expectations of you. You have to be ready to play and take the bumps and the hits and the people talking smack, because I'm sure when he goes 0 for 10 in a game, you and I will be on here saying, oh my God, what did Brad do? Because we're prisoners of the moment too.
And hearing it from the other end of the floor too, when he's playing NBA guys, they're going to let him know.
100%. It's going to be exactly like that Adam Sandler movie. What was that?
With
Hustle.
Anthony Edwards?
Hustle.
Yeah.
It's going to be exactly like Hustle. You know what I mean? Anthony Edwards is going to be talking smack on the other end, and he's going to hear it. But I think this kid is going to be ready. That's the only thing that I've heard, is that he's ready, he's mature, he has the activity to be an NBA player and play through the miscues that are going to happen.
I wonder how ready, though, because it is someone that, you were right, preseason was top 5, but then he ends up going 28. And part of that is that he didn't play the amount he was expected to for Real Madrid. He wasn't a sixth man. He was like getting scrap minutes. Yeah. Like, all right, in certain times, certain situations, end of a game. So something is there that if you're not getting minutes in Real Madrid, how are you going to be getting minutes with the Celtics? Now, EuroLeague, Real Madrid, the league they're in, that is the second best league in the world.
Yes.
Aside from the NBA. That level of play, playing with grown men, as you point out, that have either been with the NBA, have NBA caliber potential to them, or just grown-ass dudes that made a career playing Euro basketball, which is like, you can have an awesome career doing that. We've seen it all over. That's what I wonder is what held him back from being on the floor. And he's a good downhill attacker, but the athleticism in the NBA is going to be an upgrade. Lanes close quicker, and when his first option goes away, does he have that tool to go to the second?
Yeah.
And when he's thrown off his lane in his direction of how he's attacking the rim, literally with the physicality, does he have the balance to recover?
Yeah.
I hate that I'm going to make this comparison, but it's like when you watch an SGA, league MVP. I'm not comparing him to SGA by any means.
Yeah.
I'm not even putting that expectation on him to be an MVP. But when you watch him get knocked off his lane in his direction, it's not even that he finds his balance. He never recovers, but he still gets a balanced shot off in a way.
Right.
And he swishes it. That's what makes you an NBA player. It's not just a tough shot making. It's what you overcome of like your shot being completely off. That's what he has to go to. But again, we'll see. And it's one of those in Brad I trust. Where does he end up? Does he go with Phil Presley in the Maine Celtics? Does he start and break camp with the Celtics right away? Is he the NBA? Is he in Maine? Does he go back to Real Madrid and play actual minutes. He's only 19.
Yeah.
And they go with your 6'7" frame, 190 pounds, get up to 200, get stronger, add this to your game, and then come over here. I think best case for him, I want him in the States, Maine, Boston, wherever, learning the system, getting in the system, and understanding all that.
And that makes me think about where the state of the Celtics are right now.
This is a great combo to have.
You brought up the fact that, is that second option something that he gets to right now? That's where I heard the playmaking starts to get a little shaky for him. But he's 19. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
He's 19. Who is the perfect facilitator at 19 years old? If you are, you're going number one, number two, like a D'Angelo Russell back in the day, like a Trey Young, a Kyrie Irving. If you're able to make that play at that high level, then you're a top 5 pick. You know what I'm saying? So obviously at the 28th pick, you're going to take some bumps and bruises when you're picking a guy and taking the flyer. And I think the Celtics and Brad's cooking a little bit. Now, I think what he's telling us, though, Brad, by making this pick is, hey, we're not going to be good next year. And I'm okay with that. This kid's going to come over. He's going to play. I'm not saying he's starting. I'm just saying he's going to play. Because 29 games.
No, I get. 14, when you say he's going to play, that's
29 games, 14
any amount
minutes.
of minutes, bro.
Like I said,
12 minutes a game. That's a lot for him, and he would take that.
And like I said, he played with Mario Hezonja. People are going to look at me like, "Oh, Mario Hezonja, he wasn't that great." That guy's the man over there in Spain. Like he's the guy.
It's not that great. Game. It's like just go watch the guy that's at the end of an NBA bench. Go watch him play in any level. Below that, he would be the best of the G. Yeah.
Right. So he's over there doing what he's doing, a veteran playing those minutes. That's why they still have a team to run. They're still trying to win a league. They went and won a league
over
last
there.
night.
Yeah.
It's a real league. This is real basketball. These are people's real livelihood.
People, I think, in a way, they still envision the EuroLeague as like the G League or the D League, and it's not at all. Or they even envision it like it's a step below college. It is not at all.
It's completely different. Like I said, it's these guys' livelihood. He's playing with a Sergio Llull, who's all country Spanish player. You know what I mean? He's done a lot of great things over there in that country playing basketball. Never came to the league, but he's one of those guys that's just comfortable over there in Spain. So going back to what I was saying with Brad and how he views this team, he views it as a team that, we don't have Tatum next year.
Yeah.
We have to be able to find ways to be ready when he's back.
What is not good to you for the Celtics, though? Because not good to me is still a 7 seed in the East.
Yeah, that's why I see it.
Yes.
I mean, I went through the list.
It's just funny to say that.
Yeah.
Right, they're not going to be good. They're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're going to
Go say that to a Brooklyn Nets fan. They'll be like, bro, get out of my face. Go say it to a Trailblazers fan right now. They'll be like, and we just traded for Drew Holiday at 35 years old and all that money. But no, I get it. And that's the thing, too. That's what it is, man. The second he went down, you and I were doing the short-term, the reaction. We were also looking long-term.
Yeah.
And instantly my attention went to, all right, what do you do with Jaylen Brown?
Yeah.
When does he get the surgery? What type of surgery? And what do you do with him? He's going to play this season. He has to. That's Jaylen Brown's how he's wired.
Yeah.
But the same thing with Tatum. His dad threw out the 8th month recovery, bro. It's going to take 10 to 12.
Yeah.
And even if it takes 10, he could return the season. I'm not playing him because I want him to be 100%, 10 out of 10 when he returns.
Yeah.
And I don't want any risk of anything long-term and re-aggravating short-term. But that gives you 2 seasons when Jason Tatum will be back, a full season, and that's a full season of development for a guy like this. Maine, Boston, up and down, wherever. A full season of development for a Jordan Walsh, who I think is more pro-ready than a Gonzalez, but different skill sets all around.
Of course.
And then it's also more development. This roster, man. Anthony Simons could end up wearing a Charlotte Hornets jersey this season, actually. Yeah. So it's also, what will the roles be? What will the backcourts look like? So there's so many moving parts. But all that to say, I agree with you, because this is something of, when Tatum's back, it's back on.
Yeah.
And everyone has to understand that. Brad Stevens put together a team. Hold on. Brad Stevens took a team to the finals. As a GM, I'm saying, with Ime Udoka, loses him, gets a team that comes up short, is patient, gets them back to winning.
Yeah.
Made the moves with a Porzingis and a Drew Holiday to make that happen. And then, when they had to and face the second apron, which he said, it's real, man. I'm learning this on the fly.
Right.
He made the moves he had to reset and get them under from spending $500 million to field the team to just $280 now.
Yeah.
And he kept the Jays, he kept his draft assets like this first rounder, and kept Derek White. Yeah. They're in a great spot. For anyone getting mad because they're rebuilding or going, you should want him to win now, it's not like that. This is a hard cap as it can be. It's real. GMs hate this new second apron, but it brings parity, it levels everything. He's navigating it. It's all about what you can do in Tatum's back. He's a bread and butter, man. He's the number one.
100%. Look, you brought up a lot of things there, but what I want to harp on is the fact that NBA fans, or Celtics fans at least, are kind of agreeing with you. They're saying, what's next for Brad? This roster is not ideal.
Xavier Tillman, Michigan State great. I forgot Xavier Tillman might be.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, they have no front court.
Yeah.
And all due respect to Xavier Tillman.
Right. And we have to bring,
they still need to get under.
We have to bring this up. We haven't talked about this KP trade. Here's the trade, proposed. Obviously, it's not officially
Dude, the
hats,
the hats on draft night, like under agreement when Silver's getting up there.
Yeah.
Yes, this is Portland, but he's going to Memphis. Like at the league year, it'll go official. The NBA is hilarious.
Yeah.
Bro.
So, essentially it's a 3-team deal. Everyone's seen that at this point. KP essentially in a second-round pick going out to Atlanta, and then in return, we're getting Georges Niang in a second-round pick of our own. You and I haven't talked about this at all. Our whole My Banner people haven't heard from us about this at all. How did you feel about this deal? Because I think a lot of people were really high on the Anthony Simons deal.
I loved it.
And then I think a lot of people are a little down on the Hugo, draft pick, and now KP obviously returning for specifically Georges Niang, who I'm not the biggest fan of.
I'm with you on
admittedly.
that. It's all good. I'm with you on that.
So
I think he's like part Lebanese too. So I'm like, it's on my own people at this point.
How do you feel about that?
The Drew Holiday one, I was shocked how quick it happened, and I was shocked by the return. Kristaps Porzingis, I was shocked how clean this both was. Wasn't shocked by the return, because that's why everyone's going, wait, you're getting Georges Niang in a second back?
Right.
The fact that you unloaded Kristaps' salary and didn't have to give up a draft pick, let alone a first rounder, well, they gave up a second and all this, but let alone a first rounder, like that's it?
Yeah.
This was such a good deal by Brad. He ran his course just like Drew. You know me, man. I am. Drew Holiday's a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You know me. That's where I stand. He's now 35. His offense and his defense regressed. The fact you got Anthony Simons, who's a shooter and a great shot creator in return, fantastic.
Yeah.
The fact you got rid of Kristaps Porzingis, who's always snake bitten, always injured, again, ran his course, was awesome for them in his first season, played one quarter in the NBA Finals that they would have won with or without him.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can unload him, I'm shocked, dude, that teams did not play the leverage card more. How do you not go, no, I need more than Kristaps. I'm taking on that salary. Now we know teams get Terrence Mann, a 22nd pick in this. Yeah. But how do you not play more leverage of, I'm not doing that. I'm not taking on that salary. Brad, you guys you're about to pay $500 million in tax penalties. You need this more than I need this. That's what I'm shocked by. Yeah. Credit to Brad, but that's what I don't understand is how you don't put your feet in the ground and play some leverage.
If you're Atlanta, though, and we'll talk about some of the deals that they made later on in this, during the draft, later on in this episode. But if you're Atlanta, Georges Niang was a somewhat rotational player for them. Didn't really start many games for them. Terrence Mann didn't play pretty much at all for them. So they're like, we're going to, of course, for KP, for a player, I'll trade 40 games of KP for both of those dudes too if I'm sitting over there and I'm the Atlanta GM. You know what I'm saying? So
I guess that's a desperation on their end.
They didn't give up that much.
No,
they really think about it.
They gave up nothing. I would want more in return. Throw in a Sam Hauser with that. Give me a really good shooter.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
But
give me a first.
Also,
I need picks.
With them losing Clint Capella possibly, you know what I mean, and that contract
Porzingis makes sense.
Offloaded.
Capella's out of Atlanta, I'm pretty sure, with this deal, right? But that's where I fall in all this. I need more. Give me the 32nd pick, right? It's just on the cusp of being the 28th pick, pretty much, or give me a flip it on that. I'm just surprised there wasn't a demand for more. But again, my reaction to the Porzingis trade, love him. I think he's a Boston legend. I haven't seen anyone resonate like that with Boston that isn't a superstar, but this is a bad comparison. But it's like since KG. Yeah. Now, of course, he was the man. He's a superstar. But how much this city loved Kevin Garnett.
Like Bill Walton.
Yes, exact. And that's a good one, too. Good throwback as well. Yeah. And that was what KG was, in a way. But Kristaps, in his 2 seasons, really all his games together, played like pretty much 1 season. In 2 short years, what he meant, and just how much he embraced playing in TD Garden. He's going to be the guy whenever he comes back. He's not paying for a meal. He's not paying for a drink. Sitting courtside, Jumbotron pop every time they show him.
Yeah. And, when I compare it to Bill Walton, obviously I understand that Bill Walton was a league MVP at one point. But when he came to Boston,
with his feet, his back.
He wasn't that guy.
Hey, man, I got you. You're smart, though, to explain to the people out there.
You know what I'm saying?
You're smart. You get it.
All right. There is a second round today. We have to talk about the pick that the Celtics own. They own the 32nd pick, which will be the second pick of today. George, kind of quickly, what are you thinking here about what they should do with that second pick?
I think they got to go big.
Okay.
Especially now with them going with Gonzalez at 28. Do you think they're crossing their fingers that Kalkbrenner of Creighton falls to them? 24 years old, 7-footer, rim runner, good defender, awesome spacer and a shooter. He's league ready.
Yeah.
He'd be a depth piece, but he has everything you want in a Celtics big. I feel like they have to be praying Kalkbrenner falls to them at 32.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on Maxime. You know what I mean? I'm on him from Stanford. I just think that
That's a guy that falls right there, too. He's second best big available. And honestly, it's how your board falls. It's either Kalkbrenner or him.
Yeah, we're waiting on one pick. I think this is the opportunity for you to get your big. If it is Kalkbrenner, a Creighton guy, I'm all good with that. He'll obviously fit in with Baylor Shireman. That'll help him get out here to Boston and understand what's going on here quickly and figure it out quickly. But I think Maxime from Stanford, I mean, you're getting a Stanford kid. That's one. You're going to get a kid that's intelligent, a kid that understands how to play within a system and be a team guy. So if you get either one, you're winning.
It's also playing at Creighton, you're used to having the spacing around you. It's a certain type of big style that he plays.
Yeah.
If not him, this is the dude I love, Rasheer Fleming. Now, he'd be a small ball 5 for them.
Yeah.
6'9", 240, freak athlete, long wing, can shoot.
Yeah.
And defensively, he's very versatile. This is a guy that fits. But again, like the red flag of Gonzalez didn't play for Real Madrid. I don't understand how Rasheer Fleming played 3 years at St. Joe's in the NIL era. Like, wasn't pulled out by another team, wanted to give him $1 million a year and come play in the ACC. I like Rasheer Fleming, but I think at this spot, they got to go big. So we'll see. Stanford, Creighton, maybe Noah Penda from France, go back-to-back Europeans.
We got our European that plays defense, okay? We got our European that plays defense.
Last one, real quick, before I toss it to break. I love how you point out the offensive rebounding for Gonzalez. That's what jumped out, too. I'm like, oh, he attacks the rim, and he plays above it.
And, dude, I've heard from everybody over there, he was their second best defender on their team. Think about that. They just won
Celtics basketball.
Liga ACB last year. I mean, yesterday, not last year, yesterday.
Yeah.
They won Liga ACB, and he's the second best defender as a 19.
Yeah, we'll be talking plenty more Gonzalez all throughout. Always catch Hold My Banner. You guys know where to catch the episodes. NESN's YouTube page here on NESN Nation, wherever you get your podcast. We'll take a quick break. When we're back, winners, losers from the NBA draft. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Hold My Banner. There you see it right there. Number 32 for Cooper Flag. I like it.
Yeah, I kind of like it too, man. I don't know. They have the jerseys. Did you see? Like, last night, the jerseys were ready to sell
in
at
Dallas?
the arena. No. In Brooklyn. They
had Cooper Flag.
For Cooper Flag with the 32 already ready.
Bro, the best was when you sent me Duke's tweet at like 4 o'clock of, congrats, Coop. And I was like, I can't believe they did this. Yeah. But they know what they're doing of how ridiculous that is to tweet 4 hours before the draft begins.
Yeah.
Because they knew they'd drive the engagement.
Yeah, they are already saying congratulations to Dallas. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm excited. We're going to talk Cooper Flag. We're going to get into winners and losers. Just real like Cooper Flag learning defense from AD, ball handling from Kyrie. We'll get to that. Who are your winners? Give me your first winner.
Okay, winners and losers. My first winner, I got to go to the San Antonio Spurs. And I know it's not the sexy pick because they had the number 2 pick in this draft.
Yeah.
But when you're adding a guy like Dylan Harper to come in after you're losing a Chris Paul, a veteran, a facilitator, all this other stuff, you're bringing in a young guy who's already ready to plug and play through the pick and roll, throw the ball to Wemby. He's a guy who can score in spots where you need him to, but he's also young enough and has a dad who played a role where he had to be a facilitator. His dad, Ron Harper, came into the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen as a scorer. That's what his job was in the league. But then they were like, hey, we need you to be a facilitator, play some defense, shoot some threes, knock down some shots for us. And he came in and he played that role correctly and won multiple championships with the Chicago Bulls. He taught his son how to pick his spots as well. Dylan Harper's going to be able to do that. But the guy that really got this as my number 1 winner is them taking Carter Bryant out of Arizona.
Okay.
Now, this kid, I mean, we talk about 3D guys with Hugo. This guy right here, a lot of the similar stuff that you want to say about Hugo. Didn't play as many minutes as he should have. Didn't get the opportunity to show his offensive package as a whole because Arizona has some other guys that needed to do it. But he tracks as a guy that's going to come in immediately and give dudes hell on the defensive end. We talked about Ryan Dunn coming in last year and taking people's lunch money immediately as a rookie. This guy is going to be the exact same. Switches 1 through 5. has the length, has the athletic ability, explosive athlete to be a real terror on the defensive end. The offense will end up coming. But if you're the San Antonio Spurs, we got Wemby, we got Fox, we got Harper
now.
We got
Devin
everybody.
Vassell. You got so many guys.
We got scorers. Come in and play defense.
That's what I think about the depth of this team now. And this is a Dylan Harper, where you mentioned his dad, Ron Harper, obviously with the Bulls. His brother, Ron Harper Jr., has gone through this. His playing pro ball, was really good at Rutgers. My one thing, can Dylan Harper play within a system? Because this is a guy that was the man everywhere he went. Even sharing a backcourt with Ace Bailey. It was him and Ace taking turns. Yeah. And he was the man. He was the number one. Ace's ceiling may be higher, but Dylan Harper was more ready for that Big Ten basketball and playing D1 hoops. Yeah. Can he play within the system? And in a way, when he's on the floor, hey, you're the number 3 option at times a lot. Maybe number 4. Keep the ball moving. Can you play in the PNR?
4 immediately. You got Castle, Fox, and Wemby.
And can he keep the ball moving? That's my one thing with him. But I think the best thing you point out is the pedigree. And it's his dad, Ron Harper, is a NBA, legend and alum. His mom is also a coach on the circuits in Jersey, dude. Like, his family is all basketball. All basketball on that, too.
Yeah, and one of the guys that add to the Filipino heritage that joins the NBA, an elite backup point guard. If I could say so myself, he will be. For
Dylan Harper.
Dylan Harper, yeah.
An elite backup point guard, or again with the NBA, dude, just that elite number 2 ball handler on the floor.
Right.
So many ways you can take all this. Shout out to him, too. He's also from Jersey. Went to Don Bosco Prep. Got a rep for North Jersey. Sure. My first winner, I'm going with the Hornets.
Okay.
I love it. It's the same thing, man. It was chalk. It wasn't sexy, but Concanepple.
Ooters.
As a spacer.
Yeah, Ooters.
Next to Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
Man, I never understand what they're doing in Charlotte. I hope you keep Concanepple as far away from Grant Williams as possible. Do not let Grant Williams poison the well.
Right.
But this is a dude that is a knockdown shooter, creates spacing. At his frame, you don't get that.
Yeah.
Where it's the second he passes half court, he can hurt you from wherever from 3. 6'5", 220. His parents are both college hoopers as well. Really good in the screen game. He makes you work on defense. And again, the spacing. I really like Concanepple's game.
And you have to mention that he got Liam McNeely as well, late in that draft. Because these are 2 dudes, we talk about Cooper Flagg and his effect, and what he does. They both played with him. If you have 2 dudes that played with him and played well at Montverde for Liam McNeely and then at Duke for Concaneppple, if I'm an NBA GM, it's probably smart to get the guys that play with the number 1 draft pick and play well with him.
Played with the number 1 draft pick, played for John Shire, or played for Danny Hurley in UConn in a Liam McNeely situation.
Yeah.
100%. Who's your second winner in this?
My second winner is the Atlanta Hawks. And I talked about them a little bit earlier when we were talking about KP. The trade that they made to go and fleece the Pelicans by saying, okay, we'll trade 10 spots back, and we still got our guy. They got Asa Noel from Georgia. This dude is athletic. I mean, this dude is going to come off the bench, which is what he's going to be tasked to do with Onyeka Onwenu over here, Big O over there that they have. When they have him coming off the bench and you have no loss of energy, of vertical ability, he's going to be that guy that's just throw it at the top of the glass. Throw it at the top of the glass. This guy's going to be bopping around with his hair, dunking on dudes, and Atlanta's going to be turned up. You're going to see 2 Chainz in the front row, Quavo in the front row,
Gucci Mane,
and they're all going to be lit, yelling at dudes because this kid's going to be coming off the bench like John Collins that they had before.
Yeah,
and he's going to be dunking on dudes.
Bro.
If he can add a 3-pointer to his game, which his touch looks pretty good right now, and he's a young guy. Once again, a true freshman last year, 19 years old coming into this league. He's going to be able to add some things to his game. He's not a finished product. This kid could be special.
I remember looking back at some rankings. I think there was like 1 or 2 guys. There was 1 guy in the top 15 when you're looking at big boards in the NBA draft above the age of 19. 1 guy. But that's what the NBA draft is. And a lot of these kids, they're either 18 and ready, 18 and raw, or they're 24 and ready. Like, that's what it comes down to. I like that pick a lot. My second winner, look, dude, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not excited. Mavericks, though. Yeah. And it is like, all right, let me put the hate away and let me look at this for a Mavericks fan. I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so upset Nico Harrison gets to smile and look at Cooper Flagg every day. But I'm so happy for Dallas Mavericks fans.
Yeah.
I am. And it is Cooper Flagg. What's the question mark with him? His ball handling.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Here's Kyrie Irving. Hey, Kyrie, teach him 50% of what you can do, bro. And if he gets to the 50% of Kyrie's handles, then this kid would be unreal. At worst, he's going to be a really good number 3 on a championship team.
Yeah.
That's like his floor. And then same thing, defensively, what he brings, he knows how to affect the game with with or without the ball. Hey, AD, teach him more on defense, man. Teach him how to be smart and a protector and a guard and just can guard 1 through 5 and just has that high motor. He has everything you want. And again, he has that delusional confidence. He's not afraid of anyone defensively, and he's not afraid to come down on anyone's head offensively either.
Yeah, we'll see when Kyrie comes back, but he's playing with 3 Hall of Famers. Kyrie, Klay, AD.
Yeah. See, I even forgot about Klay and all this.
He's not even being asked to do that much.
Yeah.
And guess what? He can do everything. So 100% with you. Now, losers, man, it's pretty quick for me. Trailblazers, they took Hansen Yang from China?
That's the what?
A 7-footer from China that only averaged 16 and 10? I could go out there and average 16 and 10.
You watch his tape, you're like,
China.
this is incredible. And they're like, wait, he was playing in China.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. If you're that good, you're not playing in China. They're getting you over here to the States to play college ball, or you're getting pulled into a European league. No sense. He could have been a 3rd rounder.
Second rounder. Here's the thing. He tracked as a 2nd rounder the whole entire time.
Yeah.
It's just going back to, like, what are the Trailblazers doing? I was excited for them to get Drew, but now hearing and talking to his family, Drew doesn't even want to be in Portland.
Yeah.
So it's like you traded for this dude twice, and the first time he told you he didn't want to be here.
He literally went
and
to Chauncey Billups, bro, trade me to a contender.
And now he's back, and he's like, I do not want to play for y'all still.
He's got to babysit Scoot Henderson.
They clearly don't know what they're doing, so the Trailblazers are my second loser.
Dude, just like wild. Opposite end of that, I go Pelicans. It's that dumb trade they got fleeced on, but then it's also like, when there's the drafting and you see a Jeremiah Fears being picked as well, well, they go out and get Derek Queen, which I like.
Yes.
But him with the Zion is kind of scary.
Yeah, that's the spacing thing is going to be scary.
It's also the mentorship.
The Fears pull connection is scary. Who's playing defense in that?
And Jeremiah Fears is an undersized guard. Like, he's a small guard that shot 27% from 3, 85% from the free throw line, but that translates for bigs more than guards.
Yeah.
I just don't see with Jeremiah Fears. I don't like Derek Queen being in the same room as Zion from a mentorship standpoint.
Right.
And dumb trading.
And then, like you said, dumb trading. They handed a 2026 first-round pick, which is the favorable of a swap between them.
Unprotected.
Between the Bucks and the Pelicans. So if the Bucks suck, you got a nice pick. If the Pelicans suck, you got a nice pick, which is possible. I mean, if Giannis gets hurt, I hope he doesn't.
Bro,
the Bucks are going to be the worst team in the league.
He could leave at the deadline and not care, too.
Right. And they could end up with the number 1 pick, the Atlanta Hawks, next year. Again.
AJ DeBonsa.
There you go. Whoever you want.
Yeah, I just don't
Just to get up 10 spots?
Yeah.
Insane. So, yes, Pelicans, absolutely a big loser. My other loser is the Raptors. Look, them taking Colin Murray Boyles, like, he's a great player.
All-time reaction getting picked, too. He did a head shake. He's like, ugh.
Frick.
Yeah.
The clean version, frick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's right to feel that way. Look, the Toronto Raptors were bottom 3rd of the league in three-point shooting last year. If you're going to tell me, the teams don't need three-point shooting to be good, they can find other ways. The bottom half of the league, the last 15 teams in the league in three-point shooting either didn't make the playoffs or got bounced in the first round.
Yep.
So you can't tell me that three-point shooting doesn't matter when that is what happened this past season. They're going to add him to the equation of a Scotty Barnes who can't shoot, a R.J. Barrett who's inconsistent.
He might be traded out of there, too.
A Grady Dick who's inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of guys who are, I don't know, and say, well, if he can shoot. This dude made 9 career three-pointers in 2 years of college. 9 career three-pointers. All he's going to be doing is trying to get to the basket. You're going to have him and Scotty Barnes clogging up the paint, and he's probably coming off the bench as well. This was a terrible pick for the Toronto Raptors, but a great player. It's a great player. His calling card is toughness and defensive versatility. You have so much of that out of the Raptors. You have so many more needs. And he's 6'6".
Exactly.
He's a 6'6".
Unconventional,
right now.
Exactly.
Really?
Unconventional big.
You're
going to go small ball 5? Like, if he ended up in Golden State, like, that'd be fantastic. If he ended up in San Antonio, again, coming off the bench, that would have been fantastic. It was just a matter of where he's going to fall and what team he can land with. Yeah. It makes no sense with the Raptors fits at all. At all. My other loser ended up in a good situation, in my opinion, but I'm going to go Ace Bailey. Yeah. And it starts with all the pre-draft handlings. Like, I understand look, I don't want to work out. I'm only going to work out for teams I want to work out for. Don't schedule one and then cancel it. Just say no to working out. Yeah. And when he's asked questions, he's like, well, I'm focusing on basketball. He's like, working out is basketball. This is a kid that's all about hoop. This is a kid that his tape is phenomenal. But this is a kid that's, and fine, dude, be so into basketball, 100%. That's what your specialty is. Double, triple, quadruple down on it. I think he could be such a good talent. But for the people around him, whoever's advising him, you got to make sure whoever is telling him and advising him and making these big picture decisions for him, they have the right intentions and they know what they're doing. And I don't think that's happening at all. The fact that he was asked, did you know the Jazz were interested in you? And he said no.
Right.
You got to know who's interested in you. And that's on your handler, your advisor, your agent, whoever. And I'm just worried about this kid, man. He's really talented. I'd like to see him succeed.
Yeah.
It's who is a person advising you? Who is that adult helping you make decisions and being that mentor for you? And I feel like he doesn't have it. Utah's a great situation to go into. Good coach. They just tanked.
Yeah.
They want number one. But don't get marred by what that record is. Utah's a really good situation to go into what they're trying to build up with the Jazz. I'm just worried for Ace Bailey's personal situation, all this.
100%. I hope that he can get past this and figure it all out in 10 years from now. And we could be like, oh, yeah, remember when Ace Bailey did that? You know what I mean? And we could be like, oh, well, he's a great NBA player, so who cares? I think the Jazz got a great player. Hopefully he comes in with the right mindset. Hopefully they have to rein him in. They have to figure out how to rein him in. They got to figure out a veteran that can rein him in. They don't have that right now because they don't have winners in the building, unfortunately.
Yeah.
If they can get some winners in the building, teach this kid how to be a little bit more humble and figure out how to win games because he didn't do that at the collegiate level, then they'll be fine. In
a way, it could be good to get him far from the East Coast, get him to Utah. I mean, where he wanted to end up was the East Coast. But again, get him away. But it's his agent, his advisor. I feel like that's going to follow. Yeah. Last loser, I'll go quick. I think the broadcast was lacking a lot, bro. Jay Billis was great. Bob Myers was great. They were behind on the picks. I don't understand why Malika Andrews was talking for a minute after the pick.
You don't know that Colin Cowherd got drafted last night?
Cedric Coward. Then you say Colin Cowherd.
Colin Cowherd got
stuff
drafted
like that, man.
Night.
And look, I do this. I understand you make mistakes, but I just didn't understand the direction of it. The NFL draft, ESPN's got it down. Picks made. Mike Greenberg says who it is. Boom, throws it to an analyst. Right. He doesn't talk for a minute. I want to hear from Jay Billis right away. And Kendrick Perkins owned it. He's I don't know who's best available. And then he just talks and says whatever about the NBA picture. Yeah. You need someone that knows the NBA and knows front office of Bob Myers. It should have been Bob Myers, Jay Billis, Andrea Carter, Malika Andrews up there. It was a lot of moving parts and they couldn't keep up.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was. I want more basketball. Everything was high character leader. Yeah, no doubt. We know that about these guys. Yeah. I want to know more about their fit and the team situation. We'll take another break here on Hold My Banner. When we're back, you know what it is. Wick it or kick it. Best fits from draft night right after this. Welcome back to Hold My Banner. All right, we're going to get to the good stuff. You guys know it. What I love about draft night, the suits, the fits for everybody. Let's get to Wick it and kick it.
Wick it or kick it. Bow, bow, bow. All right, first picture. We got to talk about the number one pick, of course. Cooper Flag.
Basic, simple. I like it. I like the ice he had on his wrist with the watch. You know me, man. You go dark blue suit. I mean, you got to pull it off. That's a lot. But at the same time, with the black loafers on that too. Going with, especially low fall on that. I like it. Wasn't anything crazy, but you see guys that try in a way to keep it simple and it looks dumb. This is good. Good fit. I like it.
Yeah.
I say it's wicked.
Here's the thing, man.
Pants got to fall a little bit.
This picture is going to be everywhere forever.
Eternity.
And so you can't pick something that's going to be too flashy or too 2025 because in 2035, people are going to be laughing at you like, oh, my God, I can't believe
what
you
was
wore
he
this.
doing?
Cooper Flag, kept it simple. Second player from Maine's history to be drafted in the NBA. The first white guy since 1997, at least American-born white guy, to be drafted in the NBA draft with the first overall pick. Congratulations to Cooper Flag. You killed it with this outfit. You're going to kill it in the NBA. Shout out to Maine. Shout out to you. Shout out to your family for helping you out. Your brother's going to do great. We're all proud of you, Cooper Flag. Keep it going, dog. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10.
Give it a 10 out of 10. I'm going to go 8.5 out of 10. Those pants got to fall a little better. I need that tapered, no break.
perfect.
Nah, it's a little. You see
this is wicked nice,
you see the watch parties in Maine. One was like a high school gym. I'm like, all right, cool. Another one was like a bar, cool. And then it was all of a sudden like a LL Bean warehouse. I'm like, I know it's a heat wave. It's not that hot though. I'm like,
Right.
Get someone on a boat.
Yeah, facts. We got to get them next to the water, especially out there in Maine. All right.
Downtown Ogunquit or something. All right, who we got next?
Next, we got Ace Bailey. You talked about this guy in great length during this episode. How do you feel about his draft day fit, though, George?
Always like the customized lining of the jacket. You see plenty of Rutgers Scarlet Knights, photos of his family. I also do like the ice around his neck, too.
Yeah.
Hey, you're repping Rutgers with the colors, going that red under the black, no tie with the ice. I like this from Ace Bailey. And then again, also same thing. I don't know what he's got on his feet. I know you always dig up these details.
Yeah.
I like this fit top to bottom. And you can't exactly see the details in the jacket, but it's a black jacket with some bling on it. This one I give a 10 out of 10.
And look, I'm going the opposite direction with this one. You were like a little bit lower on Cooper. I'm way lower on this fit.
You're kicking this?
I'm kicking this one,
What?
dog. I'm not rocking with it. Only because here's my thing with the whole entire fit. One, the ice is too much, man. There's too much ice.
I like Cedric. I almost said Colin Coward's. I like Cedric Coward's ice, the big ass CC. I was like, good for him.
Okay, yeah, 100%. But my thing is, you got to make sure that the fit complements you, right? And when you're going in all loud and bodacious that I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that, you gotta settle down just a little bit. This is showing diva. This is on
par for him.
This is showing.
You know what you're giving? Sound advice.
Yes.
You're giving sound advice. He's not getting that.
He needs to come in and be humbled. This outfit screams, I'm the man. I think he needs something that a little understated. That's all I'm saying.
I get it. A little more quieter.
I'm gonna go 5.5.
Again, the number one overall pick. Who knew he was a number one overall pick since 2004?
Yeah.
Did not go loud at all.
Yeah.
Kept it simple. Kept it conservative in a way. I like it. All right, and then we're ending with this one. I like this.
Hansen Yang from China. Shout out to.
It's giving me Mr. Smith from the Matrix vibes with the all white. This is simple, double-breasted, but he didn't really double-breast it unless his jacket is massive and didn't fill it out.
Yeah.
Normally, I don't like the white, and then with the kicks too, I like this one. I'm going wicked. I'm going 3 for 3 on the day.
You are. I'm definitely giving this one a wicket because you have to think, man. In China, LeBron is a huge brand. This reminds me of the LeBron draft day suit. LeBron, I love it. So, I'm going to give this dude a 10 out of 10. Look, I don't know why the Portland Trail Blazers drafted him with the 16th pick.
Credit for him being out there.
NBA
you're going to
draft.
Brooklyn and you're like, I think I'm going in the second round.
Well, of course he should be out there, man. This is a lifetime opportunity for him, man. So, he looked fly. I can't lie. He looks like he's about to get some buckets in the league. They're calling him the Chinese Jokic. We're going to see. His suit game is a lot better than Jokic's. I'll give him that for sure.
Yeah, Jokic came up playing in a much more difficult league. That's the thing. I get it, the Chinese Jokic, his ball movement, his vision.
Yeah.
He's
100%.
good. His rim running, too, and the pick and roll. Again,
100%.
I get it.
It looks good.
In China. Yeah. He's going to be playing in the States unless, I don't know, they want him to go back into China and develop more, but you're not going to develop there. All right, we're going to take another break and see if we're wicked and kick it when we're back. We'll be talking some Thunder Celtics comps. Who would win, 2025 Thunder or last year's champs, the Celtics? Welcome back to Hold My Banner. You see the tweet on the screen. The 2025 Thunder would get swept by last year's Celtics. Swept! No. That would, no. Well, what do you think? Give us a matchup. 2025 Thunder, 2024 Boston Celtics. Two teams much more similar in style, construction, all that. Pacers are full court, team ball, like a throwback style of basketball we grew up watching and playing. Thunder Celtics, more modern.
Yeah.
Ton of threes.
Yeah.
And hey, their best player initiates everything.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just
sweeps.
Sweep is crazy. But I do think that the Boston Celtics deserve respect in this conversation. If it was, we're playing hypothetical. People are going to get mad about this, whatever. Fantasyland. If we put that 2024 Celtics team healthy, even with KP only playing a game and a half, as you talked about.
And that's what I'm happy you brought up. You have to say.
Yeah.
Porzingis at his health.
He's only playing a game and a half.
Okay,
that's all
cool.
I'm giving him.
Go
I'm
with
not
me.
giving him healthy because that's not what we had. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
A game and a half. The Thunder are going to say, we didn't have Nikola Topic. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever.
They better not.
They are. They're going to say that. You know, so if I'm going hypotheticals, I think I'm saying Celtics in 6. Honestly, it might have been 5. It might have been the same. Only because it's not because we're here in Boston and, you know, that we're such big Boston Celtics fans. Dude, I watched the team with the Boston Celtics that was older. They were succinct. They were sharp.
Yeah.
They took it right to the Mavericks. You and I both thought that the Mavericks were going to win that series, honestly. We thought that they had a chance at least. You know what I mean?
I took them in 6.
To win that series.
I took the Mavericks in 6.
Yeah.
Can't believe I ever did that.
And the Celtics make them look like children.
Yeah.
So when you're playing against actual children, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, there was points of that game. I saw people on Twitter. I thought it myself that the Thunder didn't look like they wanted to win Game 7 at all, even though they won it.
They looked more
Clearly.
shocked about the Hallie injury than the Pacers did.
Right. They looked sloppy a lot.
Yeah.
Every game that they lost, they looked really, really bad.
Yeah.
They're talented, so they stayed in those games. But so are the Celtics, and the Celtics are also older, immature, and on the warpath in 2020.
That would have been the thing. The Celtics are older, more mature. They know what it takes to win in the finals and playing on that stage. Where that's a Thunder's first trip to the finals.
Yeah.
And of course, for the Celtics, that'd be their 3rd time with the Jays getting to the NBA Finals as well. Like, you have to mention that. So that's what adds to all of this. They both can defend all their guys on the floor 1 through 5. They both have really good rim protectors. It would have been, again, game and a half of Porzingis. We'd seen how healthy Chet would be, too, because he was not 100%. He showed up massive defensively in Game 7. The addition of an Alex Caruso for a Thunder team this season as a 3-and-D guy, as a guy getting more spacing that they didn't get with Giddey, that brings that experience.
Yeah.
But I got to stick with what it was. Celtics in 6 was my pick over the Thunder in the finals. I know it was the same as yours. We said that before the season.
Right.
This Thunder team against last year's Celtics team, at their health, at their ability, how they were playing, that Celtics team last year was still special.
They were. I want to ask you, because now we're saying Thunder are going to lose to the Celtics. But, you know, there's been a different champion every year since 2019.
Last 7 years.
The last 7 years, exactly. Where do the Thunder kind of stack up in that? Do you think they're closer to 1 or closer to 7? Where would they be against the last 7 champions in the NBA?
I would put them closer to 1 because I look at the Denver's Nuggets team is really good. That Warriors team was really good. But I would put them closer to 1 because I would put them, as I think of 22 and 23, the most recent memory, I'd put them above both of them.
Woo! So, look, I love this. If
This Thunder's team is so deep.
People are going to think this is generated, but I'm not. This is not like me joking at all or like a hot take. I'm not trying to be flashy or whatever.
You're going to put them 7th.
They're 6.
6th. What, just ahead of the Lakers in 2020?
No.
Yeah. Oh, so they're 5th now.
No. 6. They're just ahead of that Raptors team in 2019.
Really?
Yeah.
That Raptors team with the bounces, the breaks, the injuries, that all fell in their favor, but I don't want to get into that. This team, what I saw from the 82 games, and them going through the playoffs too, how challenging it was for them, but I just think of how they were built and how they're constructed, how SGA was, and I get the free throw merchant stuff and all of that. That went away, man. Like, when they were winning these games in the finals, it wasn't him relying on getting to the line and getting baited into calls.
Yeah.
I think this is a team. It's their depth. It's their shooting. It's their defense. That's why I put it over a Warriors or a Nuggets team recently. I can't put them over the Celtics team. So why do you put them 6th then?
Well, because I'm looking at it, and you're going to tell me that they could have. First of all, Shea's a great player. He's a great player. He won MVP this year on a great year from Jokic as well. Like, he went and did that, right? But Jokic had better years. That year when he won the championship, I mean, when we're talking about magical aura for the Pacers, the magical aura that Jokic had when he's hitting shots over his head like this and beating the Lakers and sweeping them and doing all the things that he did against the Timberwolves and then against the Suns that year, and then go on a winning championship and make it look easy against the Miami Heat, who has their own magical voodoo, I'm taking that. When you're talking about Giannis and his warpath that he was on, and then a Drew
down 0-2 in the finals against the Suns and that resiliency to come back.
A Drew Holiday that was cooking, the second best player on that team at the time.
100%.
A Brook Lopez who was still at the tail end of his prime.
Chris Middleton who still had it.
Chris Middleton gave his last great year of NBA play during that run. That team was special as well. You know what I'm saying? So we're not throwing them over the Warriors. We're not. Don't do it.
You wouldn't put him over that 2022 Warriors team.
No.
That beat the Celtics in 6.
You remember when Andrew Wiggins
what he
doing?
did? Yes.
Dude,
I covered that finals.
Right.
I just think this Thunder team with their depth and how they can match up defensively.
Team.
Yeah. A Celtics team that was not ready. And a Jason Tatum that was injured.
But I think that Celtics team was also super talented like this young Thunder team.
That Celtics team was good.
Right. And
they were talented.
And they went up 2-1.
Weren't ready yet. Yeah.
And they went up 2-1 and Steph
and they
said,
lost
hey.
in 6. I witnessed Steph in that third quarter in Game 6 as well, everything he was doing too.
Yeah.
In person. Wiggins was special. I just cannot look past the depth of this Thunder team, what Jalen Williams and SGA bring, what they could even go with the other Jalen Williams off the bench, who they didn't even have to use in this run. But it's the guys that they have coming off. It's Chet, what he does defensively, protecting the rim.
Yeah, but it's
they could match up with. It's the defense for the Thunder, it's not the offense. They could match up with anyone.
The defense
and keep up.
The defense is special, but you have to also remember they couldn't guard TJ McConnell. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and that was perplexing at times.
And then when Andrew Nembhard decided to finally show up, they couldn't guard him either. And Ben Mathurin, who's been kind of an inconsistent guard all season.
That's a team with mental lapses. Yeah, and that's a team with mental lapses against the Pacers. But again, that's a Pacers team. And yeah, right. But that's a Pacers team that you don't see in the NBA outside of Indiana, literally with their style of play. And that's like a reflection and damnation on the rest of the league too. Yeah. We're right. No, Pacers come up, they're playing a different style. And the specialty of Steph and what the Warriors do, and they go off the pick and roll. But everyone plays something similar. The Pacers are something different. When the Thunder have the familiarity of what they match up with, that's when their defense shines through.
Yeah, but you have to understand, I think that experience is everything, right?
100%.
You're talking about a Steph that's
Celtics win because they lose to the Warriors in 22, right?
Exactly. So you're talking about a team that's coming in for their first NBA Finals run, right? Versus a Steph Curry who's already won 3 going into that, you know what I mean? Or a freaking Jokic who's been battered and beat up, or a Giannis who's been battered and beat up in the East. Those teams are better. I don't even want to talk about LeBron. It's LeBron. It's LeBron and AD. You think LeBron we saw what he did to a young Thunder team before in 2012. You know what I'm saying? It's Bron. He's winning that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, okay, I think, yes, Kawhi was Kawhi and Fred VanVleet was Fred VanVleet. Some people would argue that they're the worst, but I'm saying
the breaks that the Raptors got on that run, but they still won it. And whatever, it's the same thing with the Thunder. I mean, Halliburton ruptures his Achilles in Game 7. Yeah. It's the same thing with the Celtics on the easy path that they did have. Yeah. And then also getting matched up with Luka, who was way banged up, and a team in the Mavericks that has shrunk in the moment. I just keep looking at what this Thunder team brings. And you're right, though, the experience matters. Because even matching up with the Celtics, I look at the Thunder team, I go, that's good. That would be the Celtics in their 3rd NBA Finals. Yeah. That experience shines through. What do the Thunder have? They have Caruso, and that's it, right? Yeah. And that'd be funny to see, too, of course, a Lakers team with Alex Caruso against a Thunder team with Alex Caruso in this. Right. But the way they match up, that's where it goes. Yeah. This is a fun conversation to have, though, and I like that. Yeah.
That's all it is. Fantasyland, all right? It doesn't matter.
And we'll keep yelling about it in the newsroom at our desks, too. He's Ante Campbell. I'm George Bilecki. This is Hold My Banner. Always make sure to catch new episodes dropping weekly. Everything Celtics, everything NBA, especially as the offseason is just beginning. I mean, free agency is next week, and we'll see how the Celtics continue the rebuild. Make sure to go to NESN's YouTube page, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, leave comments, join the conversation here on Hold My Banner, and do it on the rest of their shows as well. For Ante and G-Beezy, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
Deuce it.